we badly need to work out how we can reopen parts of society safely. And experts say that really means one thing.
Every public health official says, testing, testing, testing.
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 Testing, 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 testing.
Testing, 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 testing! Ah!
Yeah, good point, Patrick. SpongeBob shouldn't be taking joyrides in his open water convertible while wearing a cowboy hat and no mask until we have adequate testing in place. Absorbent and yellow and porous is he. 2 out of 3 of those are extremely high-risk categories, so get back in your fucking pineapple, SpongeBob. But those experts are right. In managing a pandemic, there is almost nothing more important than widespread effective. Our testing failure has been called the original sin of America's pandemic failure. Because had testing caught the cases in this country early, we could have managed the virus through contact tracing and targeted quarantines. But that did not happen. So the virus spread widely, forcing us to use the blunt instrument of making everyone stay at home. A lack of testing goes to the very heart of how we got into this situation. And the truth is, broad testing is our only safe way out of it. While experts disagree on the exact number of tests that we need to be doing to safely reopen, the lowest estimate is 500,000 a day, with others saying a good target would actually be 35 million a day. And at present, we've only been performing around 200,000 a day. So we're not even hitting the lowest target here. Think of it like this. If our goal were to eat an Italian dinner, we're currently stuck in traffic on our way to an Olive Garden. We're not even halfway to arriving at the worst place that technically qualifies. So if our testing shortage has caused this much damage, this much disruption, and is still not fully resolved, we thought tonight might be a good time to ask, what the fuck happened? And to do that, we're going to be looking at 2 major types of tests. Diagnostic tests, which tell you if you have the virus right now, and antibody tests, which tell you if you've previously had it. And let's start with diagnostic tests. The most common form of these involve having a giant swab shoved up your nose. And I don't think anyone's described the experience better than this woman.
Oh my God, they just pulled my brain out through my nostril. I was looking, I can taste blood. That woman took my soul out of my head with that Q-tip. She actually grabbed the back of my head like we were lovers, but instead of kissing me, she was impaling my brain.
Yeah, that sounds pretty unpleasant. Unless, of course, your brain is being pulled out through your nostril. Until the last day of February that the FDA finally did something that private labs had been begging them to do and allowed those labs to develop and use their own tests without waiting for authorization. But by that point, a whole month had gone by, and incredibly, we'd only tested in the whole country 472 people in total. That is it. Even as we've since learned, the virus was spreading undetected in multiple major cities. Now, by contrast, on the exact same date, South Korea, which has just 1/6 our population, had completed 55,000 tests. And even well into March, Alex Azar, the Secretary of Health and Human Services, didn't seem too concerned about that disparity, because watch how he responded when he was asked about it.
But my question is, why was South Korea able to do this in a week, and it seems to be such a struggle for the United States?
It's not about ability, it's about what they needed to do. They had an explosive, immediate outburst and cluster, becoming one of the world's epicenters of the disease. We are not that.
Yeah, we're not South Korea. South Korea has tested a bunch of people for coronavirus and found a bunch of people with coronavirus. We've tested almost no one for coronavirus and found almost no one with coronavirus. To the best of our knowledge, the situations could not be more different, although again, the best of our knowledge is essentially no knowledge. Look, for too long, the US response seemed to be characterized by an arrogant belief that for some reason, coronavirus was never going to come to America because, I guess, it just wouldn't dare. And unfortunately, we're currently living in the consequences of those early failures, because by moving so slowly, months into this crisis, still badly in need of more testing, both diagnostic and antibody, and yet without any clear, coordinated strategy for how to best achieve that. And not only has the president repeatedly lied about the availability of our tests, he's still fucking doing it. Right now, he's saying that our testing capacity is sufficient to reopen the country, which, remember, according to experts, it isn't. We're doing around 200,000 tests a day when we likely need millions. And yet on Tuesday, the president insisted that we were actually just about there.
Some health experts say the U.S. needs 5 million tests per day by June in order to safely reopen. You unveiled a plan yesterday that will increase testing, but not by that much. Why not? And can you get to that benchmark?
Well, it will increase it, and it'll increase it by much more than that in the very near future.
I hear you saying you're confident you can surpass 5 million tests per day. Is that?
Oh, well, we're going to be there very soon. If you look at the numbers, it could be that we're getting very close.
But the thing is, we're not very close. In fact, we're not close at all. And that is a lie that he's going to get instantly caught on. It's like someone claiming that they have a 10-inch penis immediately before taking off their underwear. Okay, that's an undeniably impressive claim. But if you're lying, I'm going to be very disappointed and a little angry that some confusion is inevitable when a new disease starts spreading its way around the world. And it's not like rolling out testing on this kind of scale was ever going to be easy. But again and again, the people in charge failed to prepare for the worst case scenario and have been slow in fixing mistakes. All of which means in May, we are still playing catch up in the middle of a pandemic, which in turn means thousands upon thousands of people dying preventable deaths. So if this is a great success story for anyone, it's for the fucking coronavirus. We need to scale up tests massively and right away, because if we want to return to the world that we're used to, one with sports, restaurants, hugs, and turning down party invitations because it's raining and not because you might die, testing is how we get there. And that is a message that should really unite everyone in this country, from the people at home worried about the potential. We could all stand to listen to the advice of one of our bravest, brightest stars.
Testing, 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 testing! Ah!
That guy was really ahead of his time. And now, this.